Why don't you go in and run for Dean?
Wait a minute. Listen, boss, I've been in the big leagues 14 years and I never appeared in a World Series. Please give me a chance so I can tell my grandchildren.
Oh, go ahead, boss. What do you got to lose? We're 7 runs ahead.
You heard what he said.
Dean is up, folks, and here comes the first pitch.
Victory! You're out.
To the Mr. Baseball Show. I am John Weeks, also known as Mr. Baseball, along with my perennial guest, John Hopwood. We're going to throw some baseballs at you. John, right away, Stanton to the Yankees. What's that mean?
You've bought yourself a pig in the poke for $30 million a year.
Was it worth it?
The guy, let's just go back 2015. Giancarlo Stanton played 74 games. He did hit 27 home runs.
Yeah, he was hurt.
What's that? What's that noise we have?
I have no clue.
Oh, it must have been the video or something.
Oh.
Then in 2016, he played 119 games, hit 27 home runs. When he was 24, here is a guy who's been 8 seasons. He's driven in 100 runs twice. He hit 37 home runs twice when he was 22 and 24.
Up and down.
But you have a year, 2017, with a new commissioner and new rules. It's like, what was the year Brady Anderson hit 50 home runs?
Oh, I don't remember the year, but he was he was on roids.
Former Red Sox property, Brady
Yeah,
Anderson.
did it for Baltimore, I know that.
Yeah, he hit 18 the year before and 18 the year after. We're not talking about that. I'm just talking about his 59 dingers.
Yeah.
Is in a year where a rookie hits 52.
Yeah. The ball's
So,
juiced. The ball's definitely juiced.
I don't know if just the ball's juiced,
Well,
but the players might be juiced too. But
Well.
he'd be going to the prime place where he's going to get the juice.
he would be suspended. They can't get away with it anymore.
How do you know? How do you know that?
Because
you
they-
don't know. They got away with it for years under Bud Selig until President George Bush stepped in.
Well, they test them every so often now.
Oh, yeah. You mean
Yeah.
like with Barry Bonds, where he knew, what was it, at least 3 weeks ahead of time, which gave him time to take the clear, was it called the clear, or the clear was the juice from Balco? They were told when they were going to be tested. They were told. The commissioner of baseball, Bud Selig, knew all about it. I'd say that's just an opinion, folks, and it doesn't represent Mr. Baseball. An opinion. We don't want to get sued here.
We all have opinions.
Bud Selig.
What
that's
makes the world go round?
just speculation.
Yeah. I want to get back to Stanton. The Yankees have a murderer's row this year.
How do you know that either? You have a rookie that hit 52 home runs and has shoulder trouble now. That has he had surgery on it yet?
He did something this winter, but
I wonder what causes a young guy to have problems in his joints. Oh, isn't that one of the things PEDS causes?
yeah.
That's what we learned 15 years ago. Come on. The game of baseball has changed into, I call it slob ball.
Well, why did they nail Ramirez twice? Manny.
He's at the end of his contract.
Oh, so if you're at the
I'm
end of
talking
your
about-
contract, they'll find out that you're on PEDS.
Would you want to get rid of Manny and his Hey, what about your pal Aroyd, Alex Rodriguez?
Oh, he was on them.
And he was on them even after he'd gotten busted. Alex Rodriguez, after the Mitchell report, was traveling with his Peds dealer until the Yankees had to finally ban the Peds dealer from Yankee Stadium.
I
They didn't
understand
ban
that.
him.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, all this stuff that nobody's going to know. That's horse manure.
Well, he got caught. What happened to him? Suspended for a whole year.
But the thing is, we're talking about you have no idea what's going to happen next year. You have no idea
you
how
don't.
any of these guys are going to perform because this isn't the era when Peds reigned, and then you got these guys like the guy from St. Louis, who's now with L.A., not the
Okay.
Dodgers, with the Angels. That it looks like the second coming of Stan Musial. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen anymore. I remember
Well, nobody knows, but you can project.
Carl Yastrzemski in 1970 hit 40 home runs and lost the batting title to Alex Johnson. The crazy the guy that got crazy Alex Johnson.
His brother played for the New York Giants football team.
And
Wrong.
the next year he hit like 250.
Yeah, that happens.
So baseball players, we all remember in baseball how that used to happen. That a Jim Rice and Winfield, I'm just going to the American League, who consistently were driving in 100 runs, hitting 30 taters, and hitting 300. That was something. That put them both in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It took a while for Rice. But now, I don't know what's going to happen next year. If
Let's just do
it
it.
wasn't all this freak stuff, you'd say, "Whoa, what a team they're gonna have." But we
Well,
don't know.
We don't, but you've got a murderer's row of Sanchez, Bird, Judge, and Stanton.
But you don't have a murderer's row because you don't have Babe Ruth, you don't have Lou Gehrig, and you don't have Tony Lazzari. And who is Irish? Was it Irish Musial?
No,
or-
he was on the Giants in the
there were
National.
two brothers, right?
Yeah, Bob Musial. And
who consistently put out.
Okay, these four guys are going to put out more home runs than they did on Murderer's Row. Ruth had 60, Gehrig had 47, Lazzari had 18,
You're talking.
and Musial had 8 for 133 home
And
runs that year.
What did that represent in the American League?
It was powerful back then. And now with the ball juiced, everything's flying out. I see everybody on that Murderer's Row this year hitting at least 40.
How do you know that?
I don't know it. I've just
You don't know.
got the feeling.
You don't know if Judge can come back.
No, you don't. That's the beauty of baseball.
How is Stanton, who has a record of injuries, you don't know if he's going to play 150 games?
No, you don't. There's nothing etched in stone.
This is what you call, folks, a rhetorical strategy. Stanton is the stud and gives New York an incredible lineup. So rather than let Mr. Baseball luxuriate in it, me and a stalwart enemy and soldier against the evil empire will continue to do my best to deflate. What is it? Is Gone Balloon? What was it? Casey at the bat.
Casey in the bat. Okay.
Your dream is 40 home runs from everybody. Mine is 40 days on the disabled list for each and every one of them. Jesus.
Do you know who is it? Totally not going to play this year is Ellsbury.
Oh, you are.
Why would he?
They ought to trade him away, but who would
Who's
take
gonna
his
take him?
contract
Yeah.
at 20 some odd million?
That was the worst signing I've ever seen in my life. I said it at the time. They should have kept the other guy, Granderson, who has been knocking out 30 regularly every year, and Ellsbury, who was always brittle, missing part of a season.
Which is he had that great season when he hit 31 home runs.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was second in the MVP after having all these seasons injured, And then the Yankees go and sign him to some god-awful contract.
Oh, I know. It was terrible. Worst signing I've ever seen in my life.
Was he on the 2009 World Series team?
No.
Oh, that was, what's his name?
Damon.
Yeah, Johnny D. A borderline Hall of Famer. Because we put his stats. Yeah, he's like Veda Pinson. He had 2,700 hits.
Yeah, exactly. And if he's in the 2,800s, he should have. Well, I shouldn't say should have. He might have gotten to 3,000 if he had played a couple of years.
Well, he had some injuries
DH.
towards the end.
Oh yeah, he had no arm.
He didn't have. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But and also he didn't have power. So you're not going to DH a guy that can't hit.
Oh, good gravy, no. You once in a while, if you have enough power in the lineup, you get a guy that can set the table DHing.
If he'd stayed with Boston, a single team, and benefited from that wall, he might have got to 3,000 hits. But we'll never know.
No.
Because the Yankees offered him an incredible contract.
Right.
That was maybe 40% more than what the Boston was going to.
Boston was way down. Now, speaking of Boston, what do you think they're going to do now? They really have to go after JD. They don't have any power.
JD Drew?
No. Martinez.
Why?
Well, he's got power. He's the only one out there on the market. He's a free agent.
Stanton wasn't a free agent. What about Bryce Harper?
Well, they say the Yankees are looking for him next year. I don't know what's going on. If they got him and they had those others, then you got 5 guys in Murderers Row.
Mr. Baseball, these guys don't last very long. Look at your Murderers Row from the 2009 World Series. Like Teixeira. He was just collapsed.
Well, that wasn't a Murderers Row. There weren't 4 guys pumping out
Mr.
30,
Baseball,
40 home runs.
there's more home runs in history.
Oh, I know.
The guys that are hitting all these home runs are not. This isn't Babe Ruth or Jimmy Fox. You know what I mean? Stanton is not Jimmy Fox.
I understand that. But with the livelier ball today and these the guy's 6'6". You got a guy 6'7" and 6'6",
So
built like tanks.
How tall was Willie Mays when he hit 52 home runs?
I think he was
5'10".
yeah, something like that.
Was Mickey Mays, Mickey Mantle, 5'11" or 5'10"?
5'11".
How tall? Well, Roger Maris was a 6-footer, right?
Yeah, he was.
What does 6'6" or 7" have to do with anything? Frank Howard never hit 50 home runs.
No, he didn't. I think the most he had was 49.
How tall was Frank? Frank
Howard?
Frank Howard, you met was 6'7".
Yeah, I should bring that picture of me standing next to him.
Yeah, he was really tall.
I look like a...
Mark McGuire was like 6'6". He was tall.
Yeah, and Howard was 6'10". He was not only All-American in baseball at Ohio State, but basketball. And, he had some good years. He won 2 home run crowns for the Washington Senators.
But my point is being tall, because there's lots of tall people that didn't hit all these home runs.
No, I'm just saying the strength that they have, like Stanton and Judge.
But Mickey Mantle had strength, and he was only 5'10" or 11.
That will happen. Willie Mays, arguably, might be the greatest ball player that ever played.
How tall was Hack Wilson?
He was short. He was 5'6".
And he hit 56 home in a year.
Yeah.
Of a very lively ball.
Yeah.
1930 National League.
And the Altuve, he had about 26 this year. And,
yeah, but that's a different type. That's a Joe Morgan class of player.
Well, I understand. But, Judge and Stanton could just get under the ball a little bit and it's flying. It's crazy. But it's going to be very interesting. I watched, and I probably will never watch him again, as that Mad Dog Russo show. And he was saying, this is bad for baseball. All the fans are going to, even the Yankee fans are going to be upset. What are you drinking, Russo? I'm happy. I'm a Yankee fan.
Tom Maskello is not happy, my friend. He's a Yankees fan. He was there at game 163 in 1978, he still holds over my head. We were in college at Boston University at the time. And how he ever got that ticket, God only knows. I had to watch it from the 13th floor of my dorm. But he's not happy. He thinks Stanton has a bad personality for New York. I asked him to call in, but, he lives in England and connections are strange.
No, he actually, the Yankees, they had a press conference yesterday with Stanton, putting the jersey and the hat on and all that stuff. And he said, I didn't come here to take right field from Judge. I came here to help the team wherever they need me. And they say he has a very good presence in the clubhouse. So,
how do you know that?
I said, they said.
In Miami?
Yes, and also that he will in New York.
How do you know that?
I don't know that. I'm saying that the sports writers said.
The worst sports writers in the world are in New York.
They have more.
They destroy people. They enjoy it. Boston is no better. Look at Price. How he hates being in Boston.
Oh, I know he does. He would give anything to get out of there.
Hey, the Angels have Ohtani.
Yeah.
That's who the Yankees wanted.
Yeah, they were interested, but
There again. Ohtani did not want to go to New York.
No.
He said he didn't want to go.
Because he's not going to bat play the outfield or anything over Judge and Stanton.
It's Babe Ruth, the Japanese Babe. He can pitch too, Ohtani.
Oh, that's why he's going to go right into the starting rotation for the Angels.
Hell, he should have been on the Red Sox. We always need arms.
But I will predict that he will not set the world on fire over here. Of course, I said that about Suzuki, and boy, was I wrong about Ichiro. One heck of a ball player.
When's Mike Trout going to become a free? How long is he?
He's got 3 more years, so they're happy that they've got Ohtani and Trout. But I don't see Ohtani, or whatever his name is.
Ohtani.
I don't see him hitting 30 home runs. I really don't. He didn't in the Japanese league. Why would he do it over here?
Why would he do it over here? Good God, they could get Orlando, the clubhouse boy, who's 116, and he'll hit at least 24.
Yeah, well.
I'll tell you, Joel Elber was right. He said that Derek Jeter was going down to Miami to strip that franchise and send Stanton to New York. Joel, you were right. He was absolutely right. Derek Jeter and that group of owners are the Bob Johnson of our times. Remember Bob Johnson?
Yes, very.
Yes, keep that up, Kirsten. The Bob Johnson of our time. Oh, happy birthday.
To Casey?
Oh, to you.
Oh, to me. What's my birthday?
Didn't I miss your birthday recently?
No, it's in May.
May, huh?
Yeah.
May 20th.
Yeah.
That'll be easy to remember because that's when my ex.
I accept late gifts.
Where's the orange pico tea I asked you for?
Oh, I have it at home. Did I? I will bring that. I'll get home and I'll put it in a certain spot when I see you again.
Which is tonight, I think, unless there's a blizzard.
Okay, if you want to do it.
Then we can really get the long knives out for Stanton. Here I am. When I heard about Stanton, it's like, oh my God. And then I said, well, it's good for baseball. You take a guy like that out of Miami, which is just a festering sore of a team that's being stripped for God knows what reason, and you put him in a major media market.
Yeah.
And he's not going to hit any more home runs than he did because it's not the old Yankee Stadium,
Oh, no, I know. But he can put it out anywhere like Judge.
Yes, he can hit. In any place he would have gone to, the only place that would have hurt him by a few home runs is Fenway.
I agree with you because he hits line drives.
Like Jim Rice used to,
tattoo the wall.
Jim Rice would take it at his prime. The thing would be about 10 feet high. A line drive that is going,
Yeah.
And in places like Texas, it goes right out. But not those bombs.
No.
But once again, this Who knows what he's going to do?
Yeah, you know, the watching the press conference and everything yesterday, those guys, some of them played Major League Baseball, they're all opinionated. Their opinions are not any better than yours or mine. We are more on...
I think ours are better.
Yeah.
You know why?
What?
Because we're on TV.
Well, they are too. But
Yes, but we're on Manchester Public TV, and we pick your president.
yeah,
Not particularly this show, but
yeah.
there is a host of a show on that hosted.
Yeah, I
Donald
remember.
Trump.
I remember when getting back to Ellsbury when the Yankees signed him. All these so-called experts. Oh, he'll hit 40 dingers in Yankee Stadium. All this.
How could anybody say that he only hit third? Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I'm
They thought he
sitting
would-
there and I'm saying he's lucky if he gets 10, 15.
You know, because
And that's what he got.
Johnny Damon went there and
Yeah.
did very well. But Johnny did great wherever he went, except at the end with Cleveland. He
Right.
was washed up.
Yeah.
But Kansas City, Boston, New York. He was
Oakland, yeah.
He was the type of player who goes into a clubhouse. Everybody loves him. He gave everything he had.
Yes, he did.
And we're not talking about Ted Williams or Carl Yastrzemski
No,
or a
he
Dave
was a
Winfield,
good, solid
but a
ball
good
player.
B. But B, like I'd give him a grade of B, but he could get up to a B plus or A minus
Yeah.
for what he was.
Yeah.
But a spark plug of a team. So you think, oh yeah, I remember that. Well, everybody's going to be Damon now, you know, and he's got better tools, he's got more power,
Yeah.
he's going to be a superstar.
And they let Granderson go, who they could have given $1 million more,
That was
saved
great.
a ton of money, and had a decent right fielder for the next 5-6 years.
But the teams don't think about defense anymore.
Yeah, Granderson is a... Oh, that was such a stupid signing, and letting him go, excuse me, was just absolutely crazy. Okay, the Hall of Fame. Yesterday, Trammell and the pitcher there from Detroit, Toronto.
Jack Morris?
Jack Morris went in. Are you okay with that?
Jack Morris was a borderline Hall of Famer, but when you look at his era, hardly any pitchers of that era went in.
Yeah. He pitched some big games. However, they weren't always successful. His record wasn't that great in Playoffs,
I
World
wouldn't
Series.
have. I wouldn't have voted for him.
Yeah. I don't. He had, I think, 240 something victories, which will be a criteria the
Remember
next
thi-
10, 15 years. You win 250, or it'll be an automatic Hall of Fame.
But this is a new committee, the post-war committee, right?
Right.
This wasn't a vote of the baseball, right?
No, it was the new era of like George Brett was one of the voters, and Robin Yount, that kind of thing. In other words, his peers. But Trammell,
You cannot go on online without getting hit by these, so I can't look it up. We could talk about that tonight.
yeah, Trammell. I like Trammell going in.
So they didn't put in. There's a lot of better people that I think.
Well, I
put
think
in.
they've already. I think Pudge is going in.
Pudge who?
Rodriguez.
But that would be the baseball writers.
Yeah. I mean, but there are different classes, but they'll all go in at the same time. In
No,
July.
I don't think either one is a Hall of Famer. I don't see Alan Trammell being a Hall of Famer.
Then you get.
Do you?
He was better than the Scooter
In what way?
every way.
Geez, you really want to take a dump on on old Yankees?
I love Rizzuto.
Like the great Casey Stengel.
Oh, Stengel.
You want and Alan. Who would think of Alan Trammell as a Hall of Famer?
His peers do. They know what he went through, what era, all that good stuff.
Right, and that there's not log rolling there, huh? Or like they dislike somebody or like somebody or whatever.
Well, Rizzuto was a 260 hitter with about 30 dingers in
It
his
doesn't
career.
matter. The guy was an MVP. Was Alan Trammell an MVP?
He was in the World Series.
does that mean? How many World Series was he in compared to Phil Rizzuto?
I only think one. Rizzuto was in a bunch of them.
Phil Rizzuto was the runner-up for the MVP in 1949 and won in 1950.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, the Scooter was good. He was, in his era. He was a good fielder.
Right.
Good fielder.
He wasn't considered like the great of his time, the great shortstop of his time. Who else was there? Pee Wee Reese, who had to be put in by the writers.
Vern Stevens.
Vern Stevens has better stats than
Marty Marion.
Now we're going to get hit by another friggin' ad.
So,
I tell you, we could talk about that tonight.
yeah, you go by eras.
When I go into the Hall of Fame, I'm not going to look at Alan Trammell's thing. I don't want to look at Jack Morris is borderline. Alan Trammell, come on.
7 times over 300.
Oh my God! That must be the equivalent in his era. Jeez,
And Scooter was once.
So what?
So what? If we're
How
comparing...
many times did Louis Aparicio hit over 300?
I don't know.
He was in the Hall of Fame pretty early. He might have been a first ballot. He was undoubtedly the great shortstop of his time from the 1960s.
He could
Who
steal.
else was there?
He stole bases, and he was an excellent
Alan
shortstop.
Trammell, Don Mattingly, and Steve Garvey. They're borderline.
They're all
cases.
borderline.
But they, I would rather go see Don Mattingly, and I'd if I got a plaque. And Steve Garvey. I hated Steve Garvey because I hated the Dodgers until -- For some reason I rooted for them.
Till they beat
How
the
many
Yankees
times?
in '81.
They finally beat the Yankees. Revenge is sweet.
Well, they beat them in '81 and '55.
Fernando Valenzuela was pitching.
Yeah.
I was not for them in '88. But I'm just saying, if I go to the Hall of Fame, I'm not going to go to Alan Trammell's thing.
Do you know the Yankees had a 3-game loser in that '81 series?
Oh yeah, the reliever. What's his
George
name?
Frazier.
George Frazier.
Yeah, he lost 3 of the games.
Jesus, Alan Trammell in the voting of the baseball writers, the highest he ever got was 40%.
40%, huh?
I've seen cases made for Morris.
Well, he pitched that big game in the 91 World Series against the Braves, and the day before Kirby Puckett hit that home run in the 10th to send it into a 7th game, and Morris went 10 innings and pitched a 1-0 shutout.
I'm not impressed by Baseball Hall of Fame or Gold Gloves or much of any of the stuff.
I'm not either, but they are. I mean, you should see Morris crying yesterday. Oh my God, the greatest day of his life, and that kind of thing. I guess he doesn't have any kids, because my greatest days were having my kids born.
Now we get Steve Garvey again. The day he introduces his fiancée to the press in San Diego when he's Padre, 2 women step forward.
They're pregnant.
And claim that they're going to have his baby. And then there was that T-shirt. Steve Garvey is my Padre. The Padre meaning father.
Yeah.
I think that kept him out of the Hall of Fame. Hey, Mr. Baseball, it's time to wrap up.
Is it really
Yeah,
already?
look at the camera and
I
say your goodbyes.
See the camera. Cindy, pour me a cup of coffee. I'm heading over to Billy's Sports Bar, and hopefully we'll be doing some shows there soon. Au revoir. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. До свидания.